Hello, how's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for joining me, whether you're catching it live or on the replay. I figured why not do a nice gratitude kind of restorative yoga meditation class as we really kind of kick off our holiday season here in the United States. And so, I'm going to begin by pulling a card from my yoga deck, really just kind of asking for a focus on what we can really bring our awareness, our alignment, where maybe we could draw our attention and create our intention from. And so, kind of just seeing where we can really bring a little focus for raising our vibration to our highest self. It's really what I love this deck for. It focuses on all of the 8 limbs. It focuses on all the chakras, as well as Ayurvedic practices and some of the gods and goddesses in here as well too. And so always gives us wonderful messages when I use it in a group. And this was actually my first deck. And so it has special meaning for me as well. And so let's see what message we have for tonight. And if you are just joining, please set up your yoga mat up against the wall, the short end going up against the wall. We're going to do some restorative, some legs up kind of practice tonight. So, all right, Saraswati, a deity, Saraswati. Saraswati. So let's see what message she has for us tonight. We got her upright. So Saraswati, 97. Okay, the goddess of creativity, intuition, and insight. And Saraswati appears when you have surrendered to creativity, the endless stream that we all only catch glimpses of, but we can feed us for life. She is the sacred river flowing with divine wisdom, nourishing us with nectar for the soul. It's our art, our music, dance, and literature. You may draw upon Saraswati when new ideas are flourishing and when you're channeling universal wisdoms. Saraswati appears in the indigenous moment when you think of something straight from the heavens, when you lose yourself in dance, when you become one with the music. She is a very source of all inspiration, embodying the cosmos through communication, meditation, intuition, speech, and sound. Saraswati has come to you to deliver the message, to pursue the creative idea with full force. You are fully supported by her blessings. How beautiful. And so I invite you to actually come to a seat leaning up against the wall. And so we want to use the wall here for our support. And so if you also have a pillow or a towel or a blanket, you can use that as well to sit on. But really making sure that you are seated back and sitting up nice and tall with the wall to support you behind, and closing your eyes, softening your gaze, or closing the eyes or softening the gaze. And let the hands fall wherever feels comfortable, and palms facing up to receive, palms down to ground. And take this moment here to just check in. Do a body scan. Notice how you're feeling here, starting at the feet and checking in with either side, right and the left, just noticing where you have more openness. Coming up the body, noticing where the back is touching the wall, where the head is touching the wall, the shoulders. Coming into the mind's eye, noticing how you're feeling here mentally. If you have a laundry list of things to do, this evening, tomorrow, what you're planning for as the family's coming in. See if you can take all of those lists, all of those check marks, and turn them into a little cloud bubble and let them float away. They will all come back to you. And now come down into your heart center. How are you feeling here emotionally? And checking in, bringing some awareness. And now coming down into the belly, starting to take control of our breath. The next inhale, really fill the belly up, feel it rise up to the shoulders. And as you exhale, the chest falls and then the belly pulls in at the end. And so inhaling, filling up the belly, watching the chest rise. When we exhale, the chest falls, the belly pulls in at the end. So begin to create your tempo here. Our breath is our most powerful tool, something we have accessible at all hours of the day. Reduces our heart rate, and gets us out of that fight and flight, calms our nervous system, and brings us back into the present moment. Though controlling and maintaining the control for a length of time is a practice. And so set an intention for your class tonight. Maybe it's using that creativity. Maybe it's writing a beautiful mantra. Or maybe it's saying, I'm going to practice my painting again. And so your statement is, I am a painter. I'm a writer. I'm a dancer, a singer. Maybe just, I am a creator. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling that quality, that creativity. Maybe you're visualizing the color orange for the sacral, where our creative energy lives at. And breathing in below the navel, and harnessing that energy. And trusting that the more you tap back into yourself, that creativity will rise. And you will know when you're ready where that creative energy needs to go. So don't force it if you don't have something right now that you can think of. I am a creator. I create my world. And placing our right hand onto our heart center and the left hand on top. We're going to begin by singing, creating a vibration together. I'm going to Om. You can choose to Om along with me, or at least create a hum. We'll do 3 breaths, and on the 3rd exhale, we'll sing. Deep breath in, and let it go. And inhale, release it out. And inhale to sing. And just taking a moment to feel that vibration you created beneath the palms, but also feeling it in the back body up against the wall. And take a moment of gratitude for yourself, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to show up for yourself, because you know that the more you fill your cup, the more you have to give. And as you're ready, gently start to flutter your eyes open. And we're going to stay leaning up against the wall. Extend your legs forward. I'm just going to check to make sure that we have nobody in the waiting room. And so using the wall for the support down at the low tailbone, at the low back, and extending the legs long in front of us. And we're going to take a breath in, sit up tall, press the back into the wall. And as you exhale, you're going to slide the hands down, let the body come down and kind of round over the legs. And inhale, use the arms to slide back up, lean back up against the wall, sit tall. And exhale, come forward, round over the legs. And 2 more, inhaling back up, sitting tall. And exhaling forward, connecting our breath and our movements together. Hurry. Inhaling up, sitting tall. And exhaling forward. Let's do 1 more. Inhale up, sitting tall. And now exhale forward and staying here. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And let the head come forward and down, stretching through the spine. The more you tuck the chin into the chest, you'll get into the upper back, into the shoulders. You also start to stretch into the thyroid, into the throat chakra. And staying with the breath, although we're still in static motion. And now inhaling all the way back upright. We're going to extend our right leg out and pull that left leg in, bringing our left foot into the inner thigh. And now looking down, making sure you have a nice L with your legs, and turn your torso towards the right leg. Sit up nice and tall, lean up against the wall, but use the belly too for support. Taking another full breath in. And now we're going to hinge over that right leg. Then leading with the heart first, and then letting the head be heavy. Stretching into the low back now on the left side, getting into the kidneys here. And so breathing into the kidneys. The kidneys help detoxify our body. And so visualizing that as we're breathing in and as we exhale, more toxins are leaving. We're ridding, they're coming out. And we come back upright to center. And we're gonna open up our right leg out a little bit wider now. And bring your right hand into the inner thigh. And you're gonna start to tip over. Thinking about that shoulder coming over the knee. And letting your head be heavy. Bringing the right ear closer towards the right shoulder. Really feeling the side body stretch. You can keep your left hand onto your left knee. And kind of helping that knee stay down. Or if you want more stretch in the shoulder, you can bring the arm up over the head, reaching towards those right toes. Staying deep with the breath. And coming back upright. Pulling the left knee in and sending the right leg long. And just take a moment here to use the wall to sit up tall and pull the left knee in. And you find that compression into the hip joint, relaxing the shoulders down away from your ears. Breathing into the left hip. And breathing into the low back, into the belly. And now go ahead and extend the left leg and bring it out towards the left. I'm pulling the right foot in, looking down, creating that nice L with the legs, and turning the torso so that you're facing over the left knee. And now hinging forward. And thinking about the length in the low back still, the heart coming over the knee. Then we can tuck the chin towards the chest. Breathing into the low back on the right side now. Our inhales are the opportunity to fill up. And the exhales, we soften, we relax, we fold a little deeper. And coming all the way back upright. And now extending the left leg out a little bit wider. And bringing your left hand inside and now starting to tip over towards the left. Thinking about the left shoulder, over the knee. Again, you can bring the right hand onto your right knee to help relax that down. Left ear hangs towards the left shoulder. Getting into the side body. And now start to reach the right arm over the head, creating the stretch all the way up into the shoulder, reaching towards those toes. And we come all the way back upright. And pulling the left leg in, pulling the right knee up, and now sitting tall up against the wall. Using the wall for support, but also using the leg too as leverage. Pulling the chest up towards the knee, relaxing the shoulders down, finding the compression into the hip joint. This is getting into the organs. It's also helping flush the blood as we create this compression. And now release. And we're going to bend to both legs as much as you need to so that you can find a hug around your thighs. And you're going to tuck your chin. Maybe your forehead can touch the knees. And really finding the full rounding of the back. And so breathing into the back body here. And with the forehead on the knees, you're also finding that throat compression and getting into the throat chakra some more, getting into the thyroid. And breathing right behind the heart center. And a few more breaths here. And now start to look up at your toes and keeping the bind of hugging onto your thighs and see if you can walk your feet out a little bit more. And now then rounding, I want you to think about lengthening. So think more about the heart coming on top of the knees. We're dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. The belly's hugging onto the thighs. And so we're really feeling this into the low back. We're feeling it lengthen. We're feeling a little compression into the hip joint. Breathing here, keeping the gaze up. You can slight tuck some more, look at your toes. You don't have to look forward, kinking the neck. But the shoulders are down away from the ears. The heart is lifted. We're lengthening through the side body. And release and come upright. And now bring your feet together and let your knees open out wide. And sit up nice and tall for a moment. Feel those sits bones grounding down. You can hold onto your ankles, using those as leverage. So yet again, roll the shoulders down. And so the action of sitting up comes from grounding down. So the more we can press down into the sits bones, we can think about the heart lifting up. We can also relax the shoulders down, thinking about the head rising up, creating more space in the neck. And so creating this space, this length, and then we're going to hinge as far as we can forward, keeping the nice long flat back, and then tuck the chin. Again, thinking more about the heart coming over the heels, but letting the head be the anchor, helping you lengthen the spine, breathing into the vertebra. You can widen out the elbows. And stay steady in the breath. If at any point in any one of these poses, the breath feels hindered or you find yourself holding the breath, we need to back out a little bit and find a couple breaths, create more space so that you can come a little bit deeper afterwards. And try to come back upright and help those knees back together. And we're going to swing around now and we're going to bring our legs up the wall. And so everybody's going to be a little different here on how far away from the wall you want to be. To start, we do want to be a good little bit of a distance because we are going to find a figure four stretch. And so it's not really an exact science, but we want to have enough room so that we can ground down and then we can and straighten up our legs so that our hamstrings, right, aren't screaming. And so we're going to start first with our figure four. And so bending the feet, finding kind of like you're sitting down in a chair and then taking your right ankle onto your left thigh. And so kind of starting here, you know, maybe bringing your right hand into the right knee and pressing it away and feeling the hip open up. And so there's a couple different ways you can work on intensifying or making this pose a little deeper. You can scooch your bottom a little bit closer, which will then bring this a little bit closer, your knees on top a little bit more. You can start to lower that foot down and now move your heel away. So it's just your toes on the wall, kind of shifting the hip. Or you can bring your hands behind your thigh and you can pull your foot away from the wall, pulling the knees into the chest. Any one of these variations, and keep the shoulders away from the ears, keep them down, keep your head down, relax. And now say this is too much. If you need to come out, maybe you cannot breathe into your hips, start to straighten your leg. Well, as you straighten your leg, you'll reduce the stretch on the back. And so you can play around here with how deep you need to be, staying with the breath. The breath takes you deeper. It keeps you in the present moment. And as we're working for flexibility, it's calming our muscles. We don't want our muscles to be in fight and flight and contracted. We want them to be open, be willing to expand and create the flexibility. So we need to breathe into the tightness. And stay with your mantra. And stay here on your mat. About 5 more breaths. So start to uncross the leg and send your right leg up to the sky. And maybe just bring the heel down and go windshield wiper your toes a little bit. And getting a little bit into the rotation of the hip. And then now you're going to take your switch sides. So take your left ankle onto that right thigh. And each hip is going to be different. Each side is going to be different. One's going to be a little bit more open than the other. So again, you can press your left hand, into the knee, opening it out. And breath by breath. And as it opens up, as it softens, and slide the foot down. We hold our emotions here in our hips. And so be kind. There's a lot of unstirring. A lot of times there's resentment or there's a lot of resistance too in holding some of these poses. And our body is contracting the muscles because it doesn't want us to release. And so breathe into it because we can release some of that old emotion without necessarily having to work through the story of it. Just let it go, let it soften, let it know that it doesn't serve you anymore. About 5 more breaths here. And now go ahead and extend the left leg back up on the wall, heel down, and again, just kind of windshield wiper side to side, rotating the leg into the hip socket. And now making a little adjustment, seeing if you can kind of scooch in a little bit closer to the wall, keeping the feet up. And now we're gonna find our like seated tree that we started with. So we're gonna let our right leg, it's kind of called dragonfly here up against the wall. And so we're gonna let our right leg come up and out towards the right, and we're gonna pull our left foot in towards our thigh. And we're gonna breathe here for a little bit, and then we might start to let our right leg kind of naturally slide down the wall with gravity. Our left knee might open out a little bit, or even that heel might start to slide a little bit closer in towards the groin. Let's place a hand on your heart, a hand onto your belly, and just staying with the breath. And just kind of letting gravity do its thing, letting the body do its thing. You feel the torso completely supported by the ground. You feel the legs supported by the wall. Feel the hands rise and fall with the power of the breath. A few more breaths here. Now, as an act of kindness, bringing our hands to our outer thighs, start to bend your right foot first. So we'll kind of bend your leg, excuse me, and then start to bring the legs back together, sending them up on the wall. Maybe do a little shakeout, or maybe windshield wiper those legs side to side. And now we're going to get ready, and we're going to switch over towards the other side. And so pulling the left leg out towards the side, and bringing the right heel straight kind of down so the knee opens up. And now remember, different side, different hip, using the breath to let it take you there, not trying to force each side to look the same. And so staying with the breath. And now bring the opposite hand to your belly, opposite hand to your chest. Switch the sides. And coming back to the breath, coming back to the rise and the fall of the hands. And feeling the sensations into the legs. But feeling all the support that is had. And so that the body can really relax, so you can breathe into open and flexibility. A few more breaths here. Now bring your hands to the outer thighs. Again, start to bend your left leg first. It's kind of a little easier to start to bring the Knees back together. You can send the legs back up the wall and give them maybe a little shake out, a little rock out. And depending on how much energy you really want to exert, it might even feel good to place your feet on the wall, arms down by your side, and just push into your feet and lift up your hips a little bit so that you can open up the front part of your body. Depends on how close you are. And you can start to roll back down. And so now finding that butterfly stretch, bringing our feet together, our knees wide. And so yet again, letting gravity do the work here. And so you can bring the hands inside the inner thighs to just kind of gently help the knees stay away. We're not really actively pushing open. And you can just let gravity do the work of letting the feet slide down as the legs relax a little bit more, as you breathe in, as you open up the hips. And staying with our mantra, staying with our breath, staying with the sensations in the body. About 3 more breaths here. And bringing the hands to the outside of your knees, help your knees back together. And bringing them in towards your chest. And go ahead and give them a nice squeeze, feeling a little compression onto the low back. Feeling the nice flat spine, the shoulders are relaxing down. And now we're going to send the legs up to the sky. We're going to take our right knee and we're going to bring it on top of our left. And so we're coming into our cow face pose, our Gomukhasana. And so ideally we want our knees on top of our knees. And so if you can get your knees on top of one another, you can start to bend that left leg. And then we're trying to see if our feet can be the same height on the wall as our feet come away from one another and getting into the internal rotation of the hips. And so breathing here. And now bringing our arms out to a T, backs to the hands on the ground. And take your left arm now up and over your body and just let it relax somewhere onto the right. It might be on your right shoulder. It might be on your right bicep. It might be on the right elbow. And just let gravity do the work in both parts. So opening up the left shoulder and getting into that right hip. Maybe eventually you can widen your feet a little bit more. And staying steady with the breath. Keeping the chin towards the sky. Surrendering into the postures. And to take your left arm up and over the body, bring it back out to the T. You start to slide the feet back up the wall, uncross your legs, and now bring your feet nice and wide, bend your knees, and just kind of windshield wiper the knees side to side. Again, rotating into those hips, feeling maybe a little tightness. And now we're going to take our left leg over the right. You're going to start to bend the knees and bring the feet wide on the wall. So the feet are going away as the knees are coming in together. And just notice the sensations on this side. Notice the difference in one side to the next. Where are you feeling it? Making sure the breath is steady and consistent. And now taking that right arm up and over your body, letting it relax somewhere onto the left. Maybe it's the left shoulder, the bicep, the elbow. And keep the chin towards the sky. And again, just surrendering here into this side. Gravity is doing the work. All we need to do is be present in the now, in our breath. Being willing to create the expansiveness, being willing to let go of what doesn't serve us, so our body can open up and show us more. And so keep breathing. And keep letting the little adjustments happen, the body soften a little bit more as you're supported. And we start to bring that right arm back out and up and over into the T. And carefully start to uncross your legs again, bringing the legs up, and then now bend the legs, bringing the feet nice and wide. And again, just kind of rotating into the hips here a little, bringing the knees side to side. And now keeping the arms up to a T, bring your feet together, bending your knees, bringing the knees into the chest. And now you're going to start to walk your feet around and down the wall to the right. And so you're finding a supine twist here. Your knees come down to the ground. Your feet are on the baseboard. You can start to look over your left shoulder. Breathing into the low back, breathing into the spinal twist. A few more breaths. And now start to walk the feet back up the wall, come back up to center. Just let your back be flat for a moment, knees into the belly. And now start to walk the feet over and down onto the left side. Finding the twist the other way. Feet are on the ground, on the baseboard, knees are on the ground. You're looking over your right shoulder. Now come back up to center. And sending the legs up the wall. And I'm going to finish today with a meditation. And so I'm going to invite you to stay with the legs up the wall as part of the Shavasana meditation. But if it's too much and we've already done too much in this posture for you, I invite you then to find a Shavasana, lying down completely flat. But this posture, legs up the wall, is so beneficial. We should all do it for like 10 to 15 to even 20 minutes a day. It does so many health benefits. Message me if you'd like to know all of them. But placing either a hand on the belly, a hand on the heart, or maybe even both hands onto the heart center here. Take a moment to kind of tuck your shoulders under. Go ahead and close your eyes and come back to your natural rhythm of breath. You don't need to do the yoga breath anymore. No need to have any more control. But feel the hands rise and fall here at your heart center. Our heart center is green for gratitude. Holiday here in the US is focused around gratitude, giving thanks for all that we have. And gratitude is such a wonderful emotion because it is one that you can harness. You can create it just by thinking about it. You can feel it in your heart and you can create that warmth. And you can raise your vibration, you can raise your frequency with the emotion of gratitude. And so I want you to take a moment, scan through your week last week, and think of something that you are grateful for. Doesn't matter how big or small, but something happened to you that you're grateful for. And come back to that moment. Come back to that present moment in time and put yourself there. What did it smell like? What did it look like? But more importantly, how did you feel? How did that gratitude make you feel? What did it feel in your heart center? Was it warm? Was it bubbly? Did you just feel your heart radiating? Did it flood your whole body with joy, with tingling, with sensation, with laughter? Feel that emotion. Feel the palms getting warm. See your green heart center glow even brighter as you're coming back to this moment. Now I want you to think about something that happened to you yesterday that you are grateful for. It can be anything big or small. Come back to that present moment. Where were you? What were you doing? Were you tasting? How did you feel? How did this gratitude make you feel? How did it shift your day? And feel your heart center warm up even more. As you're adding more gratitude, as it's getting brighter and brighter. And feeling the warmth beneath your palms. Feeling the body warm up with joy. And now I want you to come back to a moment that happened to you today that you are grateful for. Anything big or small. You woke up this morning. You made it here today. Anything. Come back to that moment. How did it make you feel today? How did it shift your day? What were you doing? How did your heart center feel? How did your body feel? How does your body feel now as you are flooded with all of this gratitude? And this is just from 3 things that have happened to you. That could have been 14. It could have been 28. We are grateful for so many things that we forget about. Come back to that. Every day as you wake up, you should be thinking of 5 things you are grateful for. And every day you go to bed, you should be thinking about 5 things that have happened to you today that you are grateful for. And feeling the warmth in your heart, feeling the gratitude for your life, for being here, for the opportunities and the blessings that you have. Breathing into our heart center and feeling this love and this gratitude. We're feeling this love and this gratitude for ourselves, knowing that as we keep showing up for ourselves, we keep healing ourselves, we radiate so much brighter and we have such a stronger impact to those around us. This is our job, our mission, to heal. And start to wiggle your toes, start to deepen your breath. And start to bring some movement back into your body. And as you're ready, slide those feet down the wall and let your knees come over towards your favorite side, finding embryo, position of rebirth, honoring yourself here, and being grateful for showing up, being grateful at your body and all that you were able to do. And as you're ready, pressing up, coming back up into a comfortable seat. You can use the wall if you'd like, or if you have already pulled away. Just sit up nice and tall and take a moment, closing the eyes or softening the gaze, just to check back into your body here. How do you feel now physically? How do you feel now mentally? And how do you feel here emotionally? Let's all take a deep breath in together. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Bring our hands together at our heart center. The light in me honors and respects that same light that shines bright in each and every one of you. We raise our thumbs to our forehead center, and of love and respect for one another and this ancient practice, together we bow and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was a great way for you to ground down, relax, let go. Have a fabulous evening, and don't forget to take care of yourself throughout the holiday season so that you can take care of everybody else. Namaste.